Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Box Office Talk. This is the show where I break down what happened at the box office, see if my predictions for the top 5 are correct, and then make predictions for next week's top 5. So let's get right on into it. Last week I predicted that number 1 would be Shazam, number 2 would be Pet Sematary, number 3 would be Dumbo, number 4 would be Us, and number 5 would be The Best of Enemies. And I only got 4 out of 5 of my predictions right for this weekend. Once again, it seems like this happened fairly recently, where I almost got a complete 5, but a movie just came out of nowhere and kind of took me off guard, but I got very close. Let's go over what happened in the overall top 10. Number 1 was, of course, Shazam. Unfortunately, it is the lowest opening weekend for any DCEU film, only opening with $53 million. Luckily, though, since it did have an advanced Saturday screening like a couple weeks back, that adds to a domestic total of $56 million, and worldwide it is already sitting at $158 million. So the budget is only $100 million, so it only needs $42 million more to double that, and I think we're going to be good to go on future Shazam movies because a ton of people are really loving this film. I find it really weird that the movie that people love the most out of the DCEU almost has like the lowest opening. That's super weird to me, but whatever. It's already almost doubled its budget, and I think we're going to see a lot more of it considering the theater I saw it in when I went to see it Thursday night completely loved it, and it seemed like they're going to pass the word on. I think word of mouth is going to keep this movie around for a very long time, maybe get some Aquaman, Wonder Woman numbers, maybe, hopefully. This is also the highest opening weekend for a David F. Sandberg film, so that's also very celebratory on their behalf. Number 2 is Pet Sematary, making $25 million. I think this was a little bit disappointing because they were kind of projecting for like a $30 million opening and it went a little bit below that. The budget is relatively low though, only at $21 million, and worldwide it is already at $42 million. So technically they just doubled it on their opening weekend, which is pretty good in all honesty. The fact that also the first movie, back when it came out in 1986, only opened to $12 million, that this is still a higher opening than that film. And also this is the second highest opening weekend for any Stephen King adaptation come to film. So that's pretty good. I know this movie got a big mixed reception. There's a ton of people that probably won't be spreading word of mouth that it isn't very good. If you look at the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes and also Cinema Score, I think we're going to expect a pretty big drop out of this, which is a little disappointing considering it didn't even open to that big of a number at all. Coming in at number 3, we have Dumbo making $18 million. This is about a $60 million drop from last weekend's opening for it, and that's pretty embarrassing to say the least. It adds to a domestic total of $76 million, and worldwide it is only at $213 million. Now, domestically, it just outgrossed Pete's Dragon as far as the Disney live-action movies go, and it has $1 million more to go until it outgrosses Alice Through the Looking Glass, so I guess that's an achievement. I don't know. I don't really see this movie becoming that big though, compared to the other Disney live-action films at all. I think it's already cemented itself as not being as successful as those films. Sure, it might be able to double its budget once it gets to $340 million worldwide, but I don't see it really getting anything more than just that. Number 4 is Us, making $13 million, adding to a domestic total of $152 million. Worldwide, it is sitting at $216 million. Domestically, though, it has $7 million more to go until it outgrosses the Halloween film that just came out, and I think it definitely will be able to do that. Get Out, though, it still needs $24 million more to go until it becomes Jordan Peele's highest grossing film and also Blumhouse's highest grossing film domestically. I'm hoping that is the case. We're going to have to see how it does next week, though, because we do have more films coming out that could push it down a bit. I really am hoping that it does get to that achievement, though. Compared to the worldwide numbers, it just entered the top 5 as far as the worldwide grosses go. It's right behind Split, Get Out, Halloween, and Glass, so that's another great achievement for it, though, not gonna lie. Like, this is fantastic news. Number 5 is Captain Marvel, making $12 million, adding to a domestic total of $374 million. It needs $26 million more to go until it gets to $400 million domestically. A little iffy on if it'll actually get there or not. We're gonna have to wait and see for that one, kind of like with Us, if that becomes Blumhouse's highest grossing film or not. But worldwide, it is sitting at $1.37 billion. Last weekend, it was just about there, and now it is over the billion point, and that's just fantastic for this movie. Like, Jesus Christ, it's up there as some of the highest grossing Marvel movies ever made now, so that's pretty phenomenal to say the least. Number 6 is The Best of Enemies. I predicted this for number 5, but Captain Marvel actually made more money than it this weekend, considerably so. It only made $4 million on a budget of $10 million. There is no worldwide total for it right now. It's going to need $16 million more for it to actually double that budget, and I just don't see it actually getting there, especially since it got a pretty mixed reception online. Number 7 is 5 Feet Apart, making $3.6 $30.7 million, adding to a domestic total of $41 million. Worldwide, it is sitting at $62 million, so that's pretty fantastic for this film. I keep talking about it, that it has a pretty low budget and it's making quite a big return off of how much money it's made, so that's pretty good. I don't think I need to waste that much more time on it, though, because number 8, we have Unplanned. The PureFlix film, still here, making $3.2 million, adding to a domestic total of $12 million. It just doubled its $6 million budget, and I'm sure this is PureFlix's one of highest grossing films, so I guess that's good. I don't want to talk about this film anymore, though, so let's go on to number 9, which is Wonder Park, making $2 million, adding to a domestic total of $41 million. Worldwide, it is only at $59 million. I think it's about to leave the top 10. I think it's pretty fair to say that it's going to be gone next weekend, and it didn't even get close to doubling its $80 to $100 million budget, which is pretty sad, but then again, it didn't even really look all that good to begin with. Number 10, however, this is going to be a pretty sad departure. How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World, making $1 million, adding to a domestic total of $156 million, and worldwide it is sitting at $508 million. So although domestically it wasn't able to outgross the other How to Train Your Dragon films, and worldwide it was only able to outgross the first one, this is still a pretty good way to end off the series and to end off its overall domestic run at the box office. Now it's time for the fun part, the predictions for next week's top 5. Number 1, I think, will be Shazam. I think it'll hold over very well with high word of mouth. Number 2, I think, will be Hellboy. Number 3, Missing Link. Number 4, Pet Sematary. I think Missing Link will beat it out in the top 5, considering the reception towards this film. And number 5, I think, will be Dumbo. But what are your predictions for next week's top 5? Leave them in the comments below, and if you got your predictions right for this week, you're going to get a shout out right now. Unless you didn't get it right, then I'm sorry. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher. See you guys next time.